Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast, a podcast sponsored by Guild Wars 2. That's right, the greatest MMO out there on the internet. Make sure to take advantage of their Magical March sales with amazing discounts and bundles all month long, such as the Fashionistas package for those who want to have some drip in their style. But my name is Swag, and with me today is Chicken.
Yo, that was the weirdest intro ever, but yeah, I'm here for it. By the way,
we are absolutely not sponsored by Guild Wars 2. I literally just pulled up, I just Googled, Guild Wars 2 news. I know nothing, dude. I know, not nothing, but I know, almost next to nothing about Guild Wars 2. I just was thinking about, sponsorships, right, for the podcast, and we've had, a couple offers over the life of the podcast. Not a lot, but we've had a couple, and it's hard because, a lot of times those offers just, don't make sense. You're like, our listeners do not want to hear about this. I promise, right? This is just not.
The Poodles one.
Yeah, we got an offer to promote Poodles. And I think there was one to promote Turtles as well, actually.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah. Actually, okay, honestly, though, we were a little slow to that one. Chick and I, overthought that one.
The Turtles one?
Yeah, dude, the Turtles would have been sick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways.
There were some, okay ones that we were just way too, we should have been more aggressive about, but it is what it is.
But right? We want to be careful because we don't want to take anybody who's oh, here's some money, go tell your audience about it, because we want to promote products that we think are cool and interesting, right? And we want to promote products that we think our listeners would genuinely care about, because if it's not a benefit for them, why even include? I guess money, but we want to create a podcast people like, right? But anyways, because I was thinking about that, because that was on my mind, I was like, what would be the dumbest sponsorship you could do? And so but a sponsorship that's really dumb but almost makes sense, right? Almost kind of makes sense. And I was like, dude, imagine if we were welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast sponsored by Final Fantasy 14, right? And you just pick a rival podcast. But anyways, I literally just Googled Guild Wars 2 news and then just improved off of whatever the top news article title was with a brief description.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, you are way too into that.
It's fun, dude. It's fun.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah, you're definitely you're definitely out of it, man.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah, so listeners, just a little heads up for today's episode. Swag here, myself. This is the busiest week for work for me. Now, as of recording the podcast, I have just finished it, right? But this weekend is always the biggest weekend of the year for me. I think I worked 75 hours this week.
That's nothing.
It was something. Almost all of it. The vast majority of it was kind of shoved even into the weekend itself. And I love it. Every year it gets me so hyped, gets me excited. However, two things come out of that. One, I'm a little behind on WoW news, right? So everything we're going to discuss today, you get to hear my first impression thoughts on, not I thought about it all week long. But sometimes those fresh impressions can kind of be the best impressions. And then secondarily, you're getting I don't even want to say half asleep Swag. I'm full on zombie mode right now.
Basically dead.
Dude, normally I got two little brain cells talking to each other, and right now I got one. And dude, it's gonna be a fun time. I don't say that in a bad way. Y'all are about to get a podcast experience that normally is a little bit more filtered than this, and it's good. It's special. It is special. So treasure this episode. This is gonna be a good one. We're gonna have a great time. Also, my voice is a hair deeper because again, I'm exhausted. So, Chicken, dude, that's kind of summed up my week. Before I ask you what's going on with your week, the last thing that maybe I have going on, then we'll switch to you. And raid's coming up. We have raid this week, right? So it's Sunday right now. We have raid starting on Wednesday. I say we because you're a part of our guild, but you abandoned us. Chicken said, "Wow, this raid team sucks," and he left. And by sucks, he means these hours are really inconvenient for father of young children who likes to try and put his kids to bed and then go to bed himself at a reasonable time with his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically, that's basically it.
Yeah. And and so raid is this week, and I was talking with our raid leader, Lex. I'm going back to tanking this season, and that's been really fun. So I've just been working hard on my tank, right? Like just getting my tank geared and ready and having fun in keys again. And on the side, I've been like slowly kind of here and there leveling my healer, especially with my wife. You know, when she wants to run like dungeons on her hunter or something, I'll go grab my shaman and level it a little bit because I want it. I had fun on it last season, so I want to have it available again.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, fun fact, Chicken, my wife was very excited earlier this week, much earlier this week. She was very excited because she hit level 90 before you did. She hit 90. She's like, first thing she goes is she's like, "Is Chicken 90 yet? Did I beat him? I was like, "You did."
Did she actually? Oh,
she did, and she took a detour to like work on her house for a few days.
Wait, now I feel kind of bad. Now I feel bad.
But anyway,
not that she doesn't deserve to be 90. It's just I'm like a straight fool.
I get you. It was that Pokemon Go, that Pokemon Go tournament, bro. Got you. It got you real good. I actually am talking to the Nintendo company next week regarding a sponsorship. Yeah, sponsorship. We're trying to get sponsored by the Poke MMO. So I'm talking to the Nintendo company next week about that. If that works out, I'll make a request that in the future they don't have Pokemon Go events at the same time. Ironically, I don't think neither the Nintendo company has anything to do with that, nor do they have anything to do with Poke MMO either, which is, there's kind of two jokes in there, but I get drier when I'm tired, so I need to explain them. However,
it was a good joke. It was a good joke.
However, where I was actually going with my conversation, we looked at the raid roster, right, and we're very excited, except there's like a couple iffy spots when it comes to healing, and so it looks like it might be easier for us. And for those who are listening, who are like, "Oh, I can jump in." Before you say anything, out of my hands, not my responsibility to deal with. Okay. And I don't like putting a bunch of stress on our raid leader right before raid season starts. So I kindly request that what I'm about to say, you don't go to him and say, "Put me in, coach." Let him make the calls. He has the roster. He knows everybody who signed up. He'll make decisions that make sense according to his leadership. So, with that little note there, he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, we got like a little bit of a problem, like healer spots. It could be iffy. It could be all fine. It could turn out to be nothing, but it's looking like we might lose one or two of our healers right before raid begins." And so him and I were chatting. I was like, "Look, if need be, I can level up my healer, gear it in time for Wednesday, right? If it's easier to find a tank, right? And it looks like that might be the case. It might be easier and more trustworthy, I guess that's the word, more trustworthy to have one of our DPS swap the tank. We have a couple guys who really love the tank but are DPSing and have tanked in the past successfully with our guild. So like there's experience and familiarity there.
Oh yeah.
And so there's a chance, we'll find out next week on the podcast, but there's a chance that I might be going back to my shaman this season, kind of as my main. We'll just see what happens. I was definitely looking forward. It's funny because I was looking forward to my tank. Like I really was looking forward to playing Blood DK this season. I like Blood DK, but there's something to me that it's more enticing when I feel like I'm needed to help fix or resolve or fill in for a problem, right? Like, obviously, I'm needed as a tank, right? Like, I'm needed as a tank. But, like, when I get to go, I can support this by making a change, and it's not going to kill me, it's not going to hurt me, I'll still have fun doing it, right? It feels good, dude. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this because, like, this is, I feel, like, you just feel wanted, right? So it's cool. It's a cool thing. So that's kind of my week right now. Tomorrow and Tuesday, I'm off work, so I will probably be just grinding out levels tomorrow, try to hit 90 as fast as I can, and then just gearing up. Our eye level requirement for raid is 230, I think, and it probably would have been a little tougher, but the new zone, or not new zone, but the new quest line that we got this past week Voidstorm seems like it'll give some pretty decent gear. Not like anything crazy, but at least for right now, it'll be pretty decent. Plus, then on Tuesday, I'll have access to like M plus, and I can just start like grinding out M plus, trying to get some gear from there. So pretty quickly, I can hit that gear threshold, no problem. So I'm not worried, but it's just gonna be like a little grind to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm going to believe that this quest line in the Voidstorm is something that maybe I will get to at some point.
Yeah. Once you finish the story quest, which you probably did long before you hit 90, there's like a quest line. Like
Actually, no.
What?
Let's not talk about it.
Wait, no. That's content, dude. That's content. Wait.
No.
Bro,
I don't want to talk about it.
Bro, but the storyline is like done by like 97 or 87, 86. You're like 87, dude, maybe you're done that.
It's not good. It's not good.
All right. Please, for the sake of our listeners, because that does need context. They're gonna need context. So was it just like an overestimation of how many world quests or side quests you need to do, or you just distracted? Did you love the lore of the zone so much?
No,
that
definitely not.
You did all the side quests in order to unlock the zones, or were you just working on your meta achievement?
No, I just got like sucked into things.
Oh, how so?
Yeah.
Give me depth.
Yeah, just doing like some extra side quests, doing stuff like that. I like every time there was a dungeon quest, I typically did that, and I think that gave some XP. Not like a ton, but like it gave like a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like little things like that I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. I'm here. But I shouldn't say like, oh, like I was like I still like. I think I might have been halfway through Voidstorm when I hit 9, if I remember.
Wow. Dude, it's funny because, and by the way, I don't know if there's anything to be ashamed of in that. Obviously, you still have to go and like finish up the story quest line, but that's not like too bad because at that point you're like, oh, I'm just finishing this and I'm done. And the Voidstorm, it's not like my favorite questing ever. But it's not super long, right? Like, Voidstorm doesn't feel like it's a long grind. Probably because then they put that level 90 quest line in there as well, and that offers better gear. Once you have that, I think it gives, like 215 eye level gear from it, which isn't, like, it's not as good as the World Quest gear, but World Quest gear is kind of more time-gated, right? Like, you only have certain pieces available at certain times. That quest line, I think, gives you, like, a mostly full set of armor and weapon at 215. Which is a nice like little jump up, right off the bat.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's like a quest line when you're level 90, and I believe you've already completed the story. There's a quest line that will take you back to Voidspire, and I think
you
it
have to go through the Sunwell, and then you go back to Voidspire.
Yeah, you go to like the Sunwell. You like work with like the light armies to I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but like you go talk to the different captains of like the Army of the Light, and you teleport back to Voidspire. Have you had to kill Lithraxian in the dungeon in Voidspire as part of a quest?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So you're still on the original.
Wait. Kill who?
Lithraxian. He's like the light infused dreadlord.
Which dungeon is that in?
Like I think it's called like Nexus Point.
Oh
or something.
yeah. No, I did do that one.
Oh well, you're probably done. The leveling campaign.
Oh, I've done. Yeah, I've finished the leveling campaign, but there's more campaign that I have to do.
Oh yeah, but that's the level 90. Okay, so you did finish the leveling campaign. Yeah, that's like the level 90 campaign. I thought you said you hadn't finished it.
I have endgame content. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
sorry. No.
Yeah, the one that sends you back.
That's what I was confused by.
Okay.
Because like the gear that I was getting was like 207, and I was like, I mean, this gear's not bad, but like it's not great.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's 207 eye level, which again is still a nice bump up, right? Because like when I first hit 90, dude, if I could find anything over 200, I was happy. I was like anything over.
It's not
like
bad gear, but it's not like great.
No, well, I mean, there's not really a lot of great gear available yet, right? But that will like yeah. Anyways, it'll just help speed up. It'll help speed up the process a good bit, I think. It kind of, I guess the way to put it is it will help you bypass having to do like normal dungeon kind of content, right? You really get to kind of skip.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Really, you're skipping almost to like M0 content at that point.
Yeah.
Which is not bad, dude. Not bad. Anything I can do to avoid heroic and normal dungeons, I will do. I've heard stories. I've heard plenty of stories of people that cap out at heroic dungeons. Like that's all. Like heroic dungeons are the hardest that they do. They don't want to deal with mythic. They don't want to deal with like the drama, the toxicity, whatever. But to be frank, like, man, if you're listening right now and that's you, you're like, yep, I want nothing to do with M+. I want nothing to do with mythic dungeons. It's just I don't like the players. I want to be in a safe space. I want to do heroic. The only thing I can say is like, you're missing out. Like, you're really missing out. And you're going to tell me I'm wrong. You're going to tell me you don't want to do it. But I'm not wrong. I'm correct. You're wrong. But here's the deal. If you ever change your mind, you're like, Swag, you know what? You've kind of convinced me. I think I might want to try an M0. Pop over into our Discord. There's like a link down in the description. Our Discord loves helping people out. If someone popped in there and just like made a comment in like the general chat or whatever and was like, yo, I'm the kind of guy Swag was talking about. Well, you don't have to say that. But you could be like, yo, I've only really done up to like normal heroic dungeons. I've never tried a mythic dungeon before. Our people would love to like get you in there and help you get started. That's just what they do. Like absolutely what they do. Because that content's fun, right? And like crappy people exist in like all parts of World of Warcraft. I haven't met them yet in WoW housing, but I'm sure they'll exist there soon.
Oh my gosh!
Right, I've done plenty.
100%.
Yeah, I've done plenty of time
housing.
walker. I've done plenty of time walking dungeons that like have the most toxic people. Dude, actually, even like this week, just doing leveling dungeons in normal, I have people like cursing out in chat and like cause problems. I will admit though.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I will admit though, like every time they do, I drop some of like the most banger responses I've ever given in my life. Like the other day, somebody was just like, "Why is nobody kicking, dude? You all suck. You guys need a kick." And I just respond back, "Hey, sorry, man. I'm watching guitar demos on YouTube right now."
Bro.
I mean,
no wonder.
Which is 100% was but like, I still had the highest DPS in the dungeon, and I wasn't even looking at my screen.
Oh wow.
So, oh yeah. By the way, I've been goofing on Elemental Shaman a bit.
Really?
Yeah. I just thought, you know what? Swag needs to learn how to at least DPS on one character. At least one character I need to learn how to do some DPS. And even though Enhancement seems like a cooler spec to me, like I think Enhancement's cooler than Elemental, my Shaman's Resto. And it just feels like it would be more convenient to really gear my Shaman for healing, but have the ability to switch easily to Elemental and not feel like I have to like swap out weapons massively. Obviously trinkets, right? Trinkets can swap, but like otherwise, not too bad. And even if I never do, like even if I just forever keep it as like once I'm like geared up, I'm 90. I just want to know the basics of it so I can feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why for a long time I did Unholy, because it was so much easier to go from Unholy to Blood.
Yeah, you used to talk, I think, too, about how you wish there was one or like two-hander Frost was like more viable.
Yeah, it was, or it is more now. Before it wasn't. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's good, man. You need a good DPS, like a good fallback DPS, even if it's just like the same, same class, just a different spec.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of you.
It was fun learning. Actually, okay, this is really bad. I was in one dungeon. These are leveling dungeons, dude. They don't even matter. Like they literally don't matter that much, right? Like we never wiped to a boss. We never wiped to a trash pack, right? Like nobody was dying unless they were standing in crap, right? And even if they did die, you just release and run back real fast and you keep going. I think at one point we pulled a boss in the den, the bear dungeon. I'm just calling it bear dungeon. It's like Den of Narlac or something. The bear dungeon. We pulled
the bear dungeon.
We
I know
pulled
exactly
the first
which one
boss.
you're talking
Yeah, we
about.
pulled the first boss, and somehow we pulled the boss before someone could get in there. I'm still not even sure. I think they just got distracted and didn't make it in there by the time we pulled the boss. It wasn't like we sped in there mad fast. I even lagged in there a little bit, right? And we still pulled it before this guy gets in there somehow. Maybe an accidental pull. I don't know. The guy's like in the chat, and he's like, "Yo, what are you guys doing? You pulled the boss before me." He like starts like cursing in the chat, right? And I just respond back, "Hey man, it's a lot easier for me to heal with one less DPS." And he just goes, "Fair enough."
Fair enough.
Like I have found that like when I just give like the most unexpected like comedic response,
people are just like, oh.
They realize that like one and a comedic response that like doesn't validate what they said, right? Because if I try to fight them back, it just escalates and becomes like a measuring contest, right? And that's not fun. But if I just kind of like, I don't know, dude, coming from the side like a punchline that you don't expect, right? Like you kind of like that one dungeon where the guy was like real angry about people not kicking, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm watching guitar demo videos, right? Somehow that the rest of the dungeon was just him and I talking about guitars. He was like, "Oh, dude, I'm looking at buying like a custom shop Stratocaster." And I was like, "Oh, sick, dude. Those are pretty nice. What kind of pickups do you want?" Right? Like it just kind of became like a fun little conversation there. And so I don't know. I've been having some fun. I don't remember this. We were talking about toxicity in dungeons. All that to say, you're gonna run into toxic players.
Where we are.
Yeah, you're gonna run into toxic players in pretty much like any content you do. And so don't let that hold you back, right? Like it's okay sometimes. And by the way, if you want to do some like learner M+ dungeons and you just turn off the chat, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's not
no
bad.
shame to you, right? I would say though, once
forget chat, bro.
Yeah, I would say once you start getting up there, maybe turn that chat back on, because there are gonna be moments where you are forgetting something, and somebody will toss a quick reminder. It's not mean, it's not aggressive. It's just, oh hey, yeah, I should probably be doing that too, right? Or somebody say, hey, we're gonna go this way, or hey, we're gonna pull this, or hey, stay here, right? Like, but in the lowest ones, like in the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, right, 6s, right?
Oh yeah.
You don't
No one
really.
cares.
So long as you kind of know what you're doing, where you're going, you're fine. But if anybody wants to learn, wants to join us, I encourage you to do so. I think it's just most of the season I don't touch normal or heroics. I just don't think about it. Like unless I'm spamming dungeons to level, I just don't think about it. And right now has like made me just think about it again, that like normal and heroic dungeons kind of aren't rewarding, like gameplay wise. We're just not rewarding gameplay wise.
They're bad.
And so like what I like about M+ is like M+ has space for everybody, because there is like the +2s are really really doable, like really really doable. But like because it's infinitely scaling in difficulty, there's a spot for everyone. Like +2, 3, that might be it for you. You might just be like, oh, that's perfect. This feels great, right? It could be right. +23. That could be your spot, right? But there's just somewhere in between there is probably the sweet spot. And you just find that spot where you're like, I feel a little challenged. I talk to people sometimes that are like, man, I miss like the old dungeons when it kind of felt like a challenge. And like go in and figure out how you're going to take this boss down. It's like, that's kind of what M+ is. Are you sitting around and strategizing for 10 minutes to figure a boss? No. But you are challenging yourself, right? Like you are challenging yourself. You are trying to operate with precision and coordinate with your team and observe what they're doing and be aware of what the boss could do. So if they don't do something, you're doing something. The other thing I like about M+ is that trash becomes really important gameplay. Right, I think that's something I don't care for with raiding. Like, if trash disappeared in raiding tomorrow, part of me would be like, oh, that's like a bummer. Like, it made the rage feel more alive and more like real in terms of just like you saw other living creatures in there, right? It just felt like stuff was happening. But in terms of gameplay, I'd be like, nice. I don't have to do that, right? Like, it just wasn't right. But M+ becomes this space where like the trash is often the star of the show. Like learning how to like pull like 2 or 3 packs together and manage that and like juggle that together, right? That kind of becomes really. So you have these awesome, compelling boss fights, but then you also have like these kind of like almost self-made problems because you're trying to beat the timer. So you have to pull multiple things and then learn how to do that. So anyways, I don't know why I'm trying to sell it to you. I think it's just every time I have to go do normal and heroic, I just think, yo, can I be in mythic again? Actually, what I usually think is like,
can I not do this?
Usually what I think is that heroic should be a little bit harder, but that's another conversation, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like that's always what you go back to. Yeah. Should heroic be harder? Yeah. I don't want to say yes.
But you know what though, too? Is it the delve conversation again, where like part of it is just like if delves were perfect for me, then other people wouldn't like them, right? Right? Like, is there like a whole group of players? Is there a whole group of players that just love heroic dungeons? Like they're like, no, swag, you don't get it. That's perfect. Like, this is content we love. I just don't hear from them, whether it's like in our Discord or whether it's just out and about on X, the Everything app. I don't always hear. But at the same time, they probably do exist, right? We know LFR. We know LFR is like the biggest game mode in World of Warcraft, like the most active game mode in World of Warcraft. So I wouldn't be totally surprised.
I mean, they definitely exist somewhere, right? I don't know. Every time I do an LFR or something, I'm just like, whew. Yeah, it's. Anyways, yeah, we got where we are now because you literally said, "Hey, I'm not gonna talk that much," and then you proceeded to talk for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, when we're done recording this episode, I'm looking at my wife.
Go to bed.
I'm looking at my wife and be like, yo, I'm tired. I'm like, this is my last hoorah, dude. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. It's about 9 o'clock at night now. I think I slept 4 hours, 5 hours maybe last night. And last night was like the most sleep I got this week, right? Like I've run it out. I run out of steam. I think the other day at work, I worked from 9. I worked from 9 in the morning to 3:30 in the morning. That was a long day. Should have been playing WoW. Should have been doing dungeons, grinding, leveling, housing, pet battling.
Grinding. Anyways, well, I'll let you know what I did this week. I played some World of Warcraft. It was pretty good.
Good. I thought you were about to say Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne.
No, dude, I finally got to level 90.
Heck
yeah. Which we already talked about.
Woo,
we kind of already greased a little bit. But yeah, it took me, dude, it took me a lot longer than I wanted to. But that's life, you know. Sometimes I'm just in a stage of life right now where it's like really hard to play WoW outside of like the weekends.
Dude, I totally get that. No, I totally get it. Actually, my wife and I were talking the other day about having kids, and it was just like, kids seem awesome, but like at the end of the day, dude, if we have children, that's going to impact my raid schedule, right? She won't be able to farm housing. Yeah, she won't be able to farm housing decor, right? That's a problem, right? She needs that housing decor, right? My M+ score. My M+ score is going to suffer.
M+ rating, yep.
And honestly, right now, I need to try and really figure out my life so I can balance four alts simultaneously. So for the time being, we've decided that right now it just would impact, our heroics on Azeroth a little too much.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude. I don't blame you.
Yeah, what is this conversation? What the heck is this conversation, dude? Who let me record a podcast today? I'm having too much fun, by the way. I'm having a blast. Weird. I'm like sleep deprived and crazy, and it is awesome. But you finally hit level 90.
Tired.
Yeah, dude, you hit level 90. I don't want to harp on it for too long because we've kind of talked about it enough, I think, the last couple episodes. But how has the overall, like, now that you finished it, the overall leveling experience, how did it feel comparatively to, like, Midnight, Dragonflight? Maybe Shadowlands. Shadowlands is a hard
Midnight.
one. Yes, you're right. That's correct. The War Within.
So it hasn't been really much different from Midnight. It's been pretty similar. No, it's been, honestly, I feel like the leveling experience this time around is probably maybe the best it's ever been.
Okay,
which
why do you
is
say
weird
that?
to think about because, yeah, it's weird to think about because it's just, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so leveling, yeah, like it's hard to explain, but I feel like this time I've almost like, I don't want to say enjoyed it, but like it's been enjoyable, if that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like,
I would say in the War Within, dude, there were moments where it felt like a trudge.
yeah.
Right? Yeah, especially because it felt like it got worse towards the end. I mean, it always does.
Hmm.
But even just like the content felt like it got worse. Like in Dragonflight, you went to I guess like the Time Dragon area, the Thaldraszus or whatever. And like it kind of had some cool moments. You had that like kind of goofy Murloc moment, right? Like it was cool. Like it was a vibe. So you're just like, cool. I'm just leveling. It didn't feel very threatening. Like usually, like the final zone feels like the most threatening zone. In this case, the final zone was just kind of like, we just. But that was also most of Dragonflight, which is like, oh look, we're on vacation on an island of dragons.
Yeah.
But I would say the War Within really suffered from that final zone fatigue where you go down into the Ajkahet, right? You go into Ajkahet, and it's just like, oh, dude, it's so boring. Ajkahet was not a great zone, dude. Really, what they should have done is instead of adding, arachnophobia mode by turning all the spiders into crabs, what they should have done is added an arachnophobia mode that just turned Ajkahet into literally any other zone. Right?
Any other zone.
Dude,
oh
dude, can't I just go back to Grizzly Hills? I think we're going Grizzly Hills next expansion, but we'll save that for another time.
Why does everyone think Ajkahet was so bad?
It just was, dude. It just was lame, right? Like, I didn't relate with the characters at all. I didn't care about the spiders. Even that one really, really adorable, cute little tiny spider, just didn't care. Never cared for the spiders, because it was kind of like even the ones we were working with kind of sucked. Like there was no like real charm to them. It was very just purple and dark, and we had just spent 2 zones back to back, like underground, and then now they be even more underground with spider webs everywhere. It was just like bleh. It was very bleh. Yeah. Right, and then this time around though, you go to the Void Storm, and the Void Storm is kind of another little bit of a fatigue like that, kind of bleh and purple. A little too Koreshi at times. We just had Koresh, right? But at the same time, though, the quest line at least felt like something you cared to understand, right? You were like, oh, cool. Are we taking the battle to Xal'atath now? Like Xal'atath is here. Something crazy is going on. We're fine. Like we've been staring. I think this is a big deal. We've been staring at this giant like light beam in the sky for the last like three leveling zones, right? Ever since the expansion started, we've been staring at the sun while shooting its beam into the void portal, and now we're finally inside the void portal to try and do something about it, right? Because the whole time we've just been off questing elsewhere, well aware that something major is going on, and we just can't do anything about it. And now we're finally doing something about it. So it felt meaningful. I guess that's why it felt meaningful, and that helped. So I think a lot of that, I think the story in general maybe was more interesting. It seemed fun. The zone seemed a little bit more diverse generally. I didn't like the Light Bloom connection between Herondar and Eversong because they felt too similar a couple times. Like I was like, oh, yeah. I'm just dealing with Light Bloom again. Didn't I just deal with Light Bloom somewhere else? I think they should have done the Black Blood in Herondar instead. That would have been a good tie-in. Ajkahet ironically set up the Black Blood for the Heronir to deal with, and then they just kind of scrapped it. So whatever.
See ya.
Yeah, whatever. I think that actually would have added a much cooler vibe to Herondar as well, because it was just too yellow. I think the Black Blood would have had some cool dark spots. Not dark in the whole zone, but just added like a whole different vibe. Because the Light Bloom just kind of blended in too much with the normal Herondar stuff. Anyways, yeah. I'm getting off tangent. I'll just say, yeah, compared to the War Within, the leveling experience I think just felt a little bit more enticing.
Way off tangent.
Yeah, it just felt more enticing visually, felt more enticing story-wise. Even the questing wasn't too bad. A lot of the dialogue, which probably makes something feel a little bit more engaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think part of my thing with it was the fact that like I didn't just mindlessly play WoW for like,
That's fair.
back to back to back to back. I think like it sounds crazy and everyone's probably like, well, yeah, it makes sense. I'm like, but it's like it's not that I didn't want to play WoW. Like I obviously did, right?
Oh yeah.
But it just kind of helped to split it up. And in the past, I'm just like, nope. I'm like full send it. Like I'm just playing WoW every single night, right? I'm just gonna play WoW
Full
until I
send.
get everything I need. Once I hit the max level, I can start grinding, right? But this time it was like, nah, I just don't have the time, and like there's just other things I needed to get done.
I don't know if I count
And
Pokemon Go as like a need.
no. Like there's definitely other things I needed to get done.
I'll forever hold you up on that.
I know you will, which honestly that event was kind of a joke anyways, so I feel kind of bad for doing that because that event was a joke. Ugh. Anyways. Yeah. So I think I've enjoyed the experience thus far. For endgame content, oof. I mean, we can start talking about that, but I think dungeons feel good. I've done a handful of dungeons. I don't know how many dungeons you've done.
I think
I've done
a
handful.
Done them all. They're pretty good.
I've done a couple delves, and I've done a few end game things, like the weeklies, if you will.
Yeah.
So I want to start with the prey system. Have you done any of them yet?
We just define done.
Have you? What do you mean define done?
Yeah, can you use it in a sentence?
Have you done the quest that is hunt a prey?
Can you define done? Can you like and when you say done a quest, what do you mean by that?
Like there's a quest that says prey, whatever the prey's name is.
Yeah.
And then it says hunt your prey. Have you by chance completed one of those?
Yes. Okay, I see what you're asking. No, I have not. I did.
Bruh.
I did accept the quest.
Well,
I did accept the quest.
Gosh.
And then as I went to go do it, I got distracted and did other stuff. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but the prey system, like the moment I started doing it, my brain just went, nah, and I just moved on. And it's probably banger content. I just don't know what it is. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I have to go fly over there and hunt something and just wander aimlessly. And right, like I don't know why.
I'm kind of surprised, actually.
Yeah,
I thought you would actually low key kind of like it.
Honestly, I probably will. I'll do it before the next podcast episode and actually give you real feedback on what I think on it. There's also just been so much stuff, and again, I'm a simpleton. I'm a simpleton with a simple brain. And I like dungeons.
Just like to go grind.
I like dungeons.
Freaking dungeons.
I want to get my shaman. I want to get my shaman leveled up. Right. I want to make out with my wife in game.
Okay,
not real life.
What is
in
wrong
game.
with you?
In game. I'm talking about in game. I'm not talking about real life. I'm talking about in game. Okay. Down at Goldshire. Anyways,
oh my god,
dude, I told you, dude, I've got one brain cell firing off rapidly tonight,
and it's saying some crazy things right now.
Yeah, dude. Remember that one time we accidentally put an explicit rating on one of the podcast episodes?
No, I don't remember.
You So we posted the podcast episode, and the explicit button is really easy to hit in the the website we use for hosting the podcast. And I actually click it accidentally all the time and then unclick it, right? And this time I clicked it without knowing I clicked it. And so like one of our listeners commented like, right away, we've got a guy who listens at like 4 a.m. on Mondays, which is actually why or like 5 a.m. or something, which is actually why that's when the podcast goes live now. I actually had pushed it earlier because just for him.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because he gets to work super early.
Tiger Ace?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's Tiger. And so
shout out.
And I think it was Tiger who like saw that had like the explicit tag on it, and he's like, "Yo, everything all good?"
What bad word did you say in this one?
Yeah, and I was like, "Whoops,
Fudgy.
I accidentally hit the checkbox." Let me fix that. Anyways, at the rate this is going, maybe I'll have to put a little warning or something on this podcast. Be like,
no,
not explicit, but a little crazy or something.
Dude, you won't have to put a warning, dog.
All right. Hey, warning for those who listen to the podcast today. Just beware that this episode is a little off the chain, off the walls.
We literally talked about killing hookers in the last episode.
Are you talking about like the GTA podcast we do?
Yeah, that was the last episode.
In the GTA podcast? I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're way out of it. Anyways, you haven't done... I'm not surprised that the prey kind of gets you off because to me, like, it's basically like delves for people that just want to do like world content, right?
Totally makes sense.
Like it's very like, I don't want to say mindless, but it's very like just cut and dry. It's not like, hey, you're gonna fail this if you try it. It's more just, hey, like this is kind of just an extra thing for you to do, right? It's very much do this, and then you kill your prey. Yeah. But I think it's kind of a neat system. Like I've done 2 at this point, and the first one I did was just like a normal one, and yeah, you just go around, do some world quests, and you know the prey kind of pops up, and you like slap it a couple of times, and you got to chase it down, and then you go actually kill it, and then you know you get like a chest or something, or you get like you get a chest with loot in it, right?
Yeah.
And I think the hard ones actually give veteran gear, which is why I'd encourage myself to do one now, because I literally have 2 pieces of veteran gear. And that's kind of a problem. So yeah, it's like, personally, I think it's a neat system. Will I do it? Probably not. Like it's neat to do like a couple times, maybe like towards the end of the season, if you know there's like some mounts, some decor there. I think there is decor with it. I'm like 95% certain. And you know, obviously I'm gonna want that decor, right?
Absolutely. Dude, there is like everything gives decor, which has been fantastic.
Oh, dude, it's crazy how much things have decor in this expansion. Like literally everything.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Literally everything.
Dude, it is fantastic. Well, dude,
it's great.
I heard someone refer to player houses as like just kind of like it's your trophy shelf, right? And in many ways that's true. Like there's a high creative element to houses that are like, yo, look what I made, look what I created, look what I put together. But then there's this feeling of like, ooh, I just got a new piece. I got to find somewhere to put this, right? Like you get, right? Like it's fun because like housing's in this place right now where like you don't feel like you're obligated to go hang out there all the time. But you have a cool place. You have a cool place to be creative and retreat to sometimes, which is nice. But then the moment you like get a cool piece of decor real fast, you're like, ooh, I know just the spot. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Yep.
No, I agree, dude. It is kind of like one of those things where, and like I let my wife do some player housing, and we actually was able to level up to level 6, which is the one where you get the mood changer, is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
The good old bounce chicka wow mood changer.
Yeah.
I thought the mood changer was for like room specific, which I wish it was.
Yeah, it's the whole house.
But it's the whole thing. So Blizzard, if you're listening to this, make it room specific. Yeah. That way my hookah lounge will now be midnight and not just everywhere in my house.
Hey, question for you.
Go ahead.
Did you say your house is level 6?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dude, how is your house level 6?
What do you mean?
My house is not level 6.
Dude, I don't know. I do a lot of endeavors, bro.
Okay, that's fair.
Dude.
That's fair. Wait. Hold up.
Dude.
You got your housing to level 6 before you got to level 90.
No, actually, I did not.
Now I know why.
Did not.
Chat.
I did not.
Chat.
No,
We know
no,
why.
I did not.
Chat. We know why. We know why. We know why it took him so long. No, chat.
When I was
chat.
talking about doing
All
endeavors,
right. So moving
did...
on to topics that we were going to talk about today. Let's discuss how Chicken cares more about his house than his rate progression.
No. Stop. No. Because here's the thing. I actually what happened was I did the endeavors last time.
Yes, okay.
Because last time it was so much easier to just go around and get some coffee and give it to the drug addicts so that they could do more drugs.
I did so many. Dude, you're talking about the people hitting that Fenty fold, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I did that so many times.
Yeah. To do it last time, and you got a ton of community coupons and you got a ton of housing XP. So that's why I ranked up a lot. Because all the stuff in this time was based on like doing world quests and doing like, hey, can you do the balloon tower defense in the void area, right? Can you go do X, Y, and Z in this area, right? Can you do the Heron the challenge, right?
Yeah, this one was pretty mindless, right? Like I found myself getting so many community coupons, not even trying, dude. I made zero effort to do any endeavors this time around, and like I ended up with I looked at my character and I had like 100 community coupons. I was like, oh,
dude,
sick.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
sick,
bro. You probably got like 1 billion community coupons.
There's that one delve where you have to like weed whacker all those plants, and you're just getting like coupons on coupons on coupons on coupons.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, bro. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, actually, we might have talked about this last week.
This guy.
I've only got one brain cell, so I can't like remember and yap. I can only do one or the other, and I'm yapping. But one thing I've been thinking about is how I think they missed an opportunity this time around. Because I get it. They wanted the Endeavor to feel like something you didn't have to think about much this season. Or not this season, but this month. Because they obviously wanted you to just feel comfortable exploring Midnight and doing all the new stuff, right? We've already had an Endeavor 40-day Endeavor month. I don't know what to call it, right? An Endeavor segment, an Endeavor experience, an Endeavor, whatever. I'm just calling it a month, even though it's more than a month. We've already had the Endeavor month once, right? And so I don't think they want us to feel like we're obligated to do that and simultaneously do everything we're doing now. With that said, it kind of feels lame having the same exact Endeavor in every single neighborhood. It just, I don't know. I think part of why it feels lame, right? Like I think about the neighborhoods, right? Like our guild neighborhood and the podcast neighborhood. And the guild neighborhood, we finished up pretty fast. And the podcast neighborhood, I'm sure by now the podcast neighborhood's done. I haven't looked at it this week just because I've been so busy. But it just kind of like was one of those things where even I was like, wow, I'd like the podcast neighborhood one to be done because it would feel good to me. Like it would feel like people care about the podcast neighborhood. But also, we already got all the stuff in the guild neighborhood. So it's like done. I don't think I like that feeling, right?
We
What they should
talk about this.
We did. Okay. So what they should have done, I'll just say this for anybody who didn't know, and then we'll move on. We'll just move on to news because I need you to update me on what's been happening. But really what they should have done was done like a Void Elf kind of like a Void Elf Endeavor in the Alliance neighborhood, and then the Blood Elf Endeavor in the Horde neighborhood, and because both of those kind of relatively make sense right now. And that way, and they could have just kept all the Endeavor stuff the same, right? Like all the actual challenges and things could have been exactly the same. But just that, like you had two neighborhoods that had different rewards, I think would have felt a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Moving on though, Chicken, I need you to tell me everything that's been happening in World of Warcraft, starting now.
Starting now.
Right now, dude, what's happening?
There hasn't been like a lot. But yeah, so I think the biggest thing that has happened, which is kind of crazy to think about, is the fact that 12.0.5 has dropped on the PTR, which you're probably like, wait, it dropped? Didn't Midnight just drop? Newsflash, it did. And yes, that is what happened. So
Caveats,
it's
that
kind of
feels
weird
fast.
to think.
That feels fast.
Yeah, it's weird to think that like they're already like play testing the next the next like the 0.5 patch. So,
Season 1's not even out yet.
yeah, dude, exactly.
Dude,
like,
season 1 should be on
yet.
the PTR. What are you guys doing?
Well, okay, season 1. Yeah.
Man, I guess that's what beta was. Never mind. I take that back. I guess they have that data.
Yeah, it's true. So so it's kind of neat, to talk about some stuff that's on the PTR patch. Just like 3 big things that came up was the Void Forge, which is kind of working. It literally says work alongside. That's not Dementius. That's some other name that kind of looks like Dementius.
You're talking about the purple dude that we had to work with.
Yes.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, it's forging gear, which is kind of like, that's kind of cool. There's some other stuff, like some other 0.5 stuff, but I think the biggest one that we'll probably be interested in is the decor duel, which is basically like the prop hunt kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's actually coming out in the 0.5 patch, which I'm pretty hyped about that. Let's be honest. I don't know about you.
Yeah, dude. Voidstorm. Not Voidstorm. Sorry, I'm googling the Voidstorm trying to find the character. The prop hunt stuff looks so good.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude.
It genuinely looks so fun. Like that's something like small things like that you could just easily do with friends and just laugh the whole time. Are so good. Like imagine like you're like, yo guys, raid nights tonight, but like beforehand, let's play some prop hunt while we wait.
Yeah. No, exactly. I'm just curious what they'll do in terms of like how they'll make it interesting, because like a lot of 0.5 stuff is geared towards like, oh, like let's get catch-up gear, let's do that kind of stuff, right? Like how are they gonna gear this towards, like, are they gonna have special decor for it? My guess is yes. Which that'd be kind of neat if they have like little props that you can be decor of, or like if you win like so many, prop hunts, you get like a little trophy, right? Like that'd be kind of neat.
That would be kind of sick. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to kind of get roped into the 0.5 patch kind of issue.
Mm-hmm.
Not really that it's an issue, but it's interesting.
Sense. That makes sense. They also sorry, I'm just my brain's all over the place because 0.5 patch. I'm kind of ready for this season to what's happening. Wait, because the 0.5 patch is not the new raid, correct? Or the new raid boss, right? That's 0.7.
Yes, 0.7. Yep.
Okay, 0.7. There's also we have class bounce coming out, right? That's like finally this week.
Yes.
Any big takeaways that you saw in there? Anything that you're like, yo, this is crazy?
Other than like Unholy getting like nerfed into the ground, which would like apply to me, I haven't seen like anything that's like crazy. I think Blood's getting buffed a little bit.
Did I see
like,
that Boomkin was getting some big buffs?
Yeah, Blood's getting buffed. Deathbringer in what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Like in particular.
In particular,
like brain fart.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was asking.
Deathbringer.
Did I see that Balance Druid Boomkin was getting a pretty hefty buff too?
Oh, hefty buff. Yeah, Druid looks like it's getting kind of buffed all around.
I know Boomkin was. I know. Well, I'm sure Guardian got nerfed, right? Did Guardian get nerfed? Sorry, I don't even have it up. I'm asking you.
I think Guardian kind of stayed the same.
Really?
They got some buffs, some nerfs,
Really? Guardian was like pumping. Maybe they don't want to spend too much time like nerfing races or nerfing classes in specs, because dude, Guardian was wild. Wait. That's a damage buff. Ability damage exclude move. Okay, so damage nerf. Okay, so it seems like they're trying to balance it out a little bit more. pull down some of the really hot spots on it and buff up some of the weaker spots. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, but it seems like overall they want to raise people up rather than pull people down, which is
unless you're
usually
unholy, then they just want to break you down.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Taking unholy jerks. And what can you do? What can you do?
What can you do? Dude, I saw something that I think our listeners are going to be pretty excited about. So it looks like Void Light Marl. That's that stuff you collect. It's like the new resonance crystal. It's basically a currency for all sorts of things in Midnight. They just massively reduced the cost of it for housing decor.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be like crazy expensive to buy stuff with like Void Light Marl, right? Like I'm talking like thousands and thousands of Marl.
Oh yeah.
And they cut it down big time, bro. A lot of things, a lot of like housing decor items are like 150 Marl now. That's like one world quest basically, right?
Yeah. Dude, I got a couple things and it was like, dude, I had like 1,000 and I'm pretty sure I used like 2 or 3 or I got like 2 or 3 decor items and it was like gone and I was like, what?
Yeah, and the problem was that things were too expensive with Marl, right? Way too expensive. You weren't getting crazy amounts of it, right? Like it wasn't like you had like big bags of the crap. And then too many things needed Marl, right? They started getting too reliant on that currency type. I get why they don't use gold for everything. It just bothers me sometimes, but I get why they don't. Especially with gold being available on the auction house. Or on the from the WoW token, they probably do try to have things that are locked specifically behind requiring gameplay, right? Totally makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I get that. However, at the same time, like it was too much. Like you couldn't, you're not gonna be able to always have your cake and eat it too, but like you couldn't even have the cake, right? Like it was just like everything was like too expensive. And not just, and when I say everything was too expensive, I mean everything, right? Like it wasn't just like, hey, there's
everything.
5 items, but they're all really pricey. It's like, pretty much everything costs Void Light Marl, and like it'll take you a week.
Oh my gosh, it's
gonna take you a week to buy one thing. So, all that pricing came down. Even the I think even that like banner, the one really expensive Death Knight banner thing, the Ebon Blade one or whatever. That's down to like 500 Marl now.
That's good.
But these are things that were like 8,000 Marl before, right? Like 5,000 Marl before, and they're down, to like 10% the price they were prior. So, it really feels a lot better than it used to.
No, that's good. Yeah, I didn't see that actually.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then the other thing, this will have you very excited, Chicken. As I'm browsing through the news. Master Looter is coming back.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that is. I just saw that too, and I was like,
Master Loot's back, baby.
Swag, what that is?
Yeah, so Master Loot is the ability that is the setting you can turn on, and it will allow, like when your raid team goes to loot, only the raid leader can loot that boss. And basically the purpose of that is that if your raid team has its own system of distributing loot to players, right, it allows your raid team to do that, right? The raid leader will go get the loot, then they will distribute it based upon whatever criteria you have.
Wow.
Whether you're using DKP, I hope not, or you're just using an add-on, let's say. I know a lot of people use an add-on, right? Let's say you're using an add-on that can track more roles than just like need or greed, right? Sometimes there's like a little bit more going on than just that, right? Oh, is this like for an alt, right? Is this not alt, is this for like an off spec, right? Like there's like different things. So Master Loot is coming back. However, there's one caveat. If you want to learn how to, or if you want to turn on Master Loot for your raid team, you're a raid master, or you want to talk to your raid leader, and you're like, hey, I want to turn on Master Loot. Super simple. All you have to do, everyone in your raid team will have to do this in order for it to work. All right. Everyone in the raid team will have to move to China, get Chinese IDs so they can get Chinese phone numbers so that they can create an account in China on the Chinese servers. That's right. Players have been asking for Master Loot to return the World of Warcraft, and WoW did that, but not that. They turned on Master Loot,
I did
but
see that, actually. Dang it.
only for Chinese players. And the reason why I bring it up, the reason why I bring that up, and I wanted to drag it out a little bit because I want our listeners to kind of be disappointed, like, oh. Like, I could have just been like, oh, China has Master Loot, we don't move on. But there have been multiple times now that we're seeing Chinese servers getting things that players here would love, and we're not getting them. And I don't know what the logistics behind that is. Another example is like a transmog. There's like some sort of transmog that came out recently. I think it's probably like a bathing suit or something of some kind, but it had this like cool, like super wide brim hat that came with it, right? A lot of people saw it. They really wanted it. It was a Chinese exclusive, except when Midnight came out, there's a random character in Silvermoon wearing that hat. But it's unavailable, completely unavailable for players here on NA and EU servers. And just kind of like, I just want to hear your thoughts, Chicken. How do you feel about Blizzard creating these resources, having them available, and then they're just like they're like location locked?
Yeah, it's an interesting take because like you think of like and I don't want to be like too political or like cultural, like especially with the culture behind like Chinese gaming and just WoW in China, it was banned for a long time, wasn't it?
Yes, so there's a couple things. One, like they've had to make modifications to the game that were like visual modifications. Like the most notorious one is Wrath of the Lich King. They had to make sure no bones were showing, right?
Yes.
And then recently, WoW was banned in China. Not banned, but WoW just wasn't in China because in order for a game company to have servers available in China for the players to play there, they actually have to go through a Chinese company to do that. They can't just do it themselves. Yes. And so I guess the deal had fallen through for a while, and so now they're back. And so maybe even to that, right? Maybe Blizzard's trying a little extra hard to win Chinese players back into the game. It's possible, but also I don't know. Once the opportunity, like again, if Chinese players want it, why would we not want it, right? Ian had done an interview recently saying that they reckon, or somebody had talked recently in an interview somewhere. Maybe it was that Azeroth update video, whatever they call it. But they did say like, oh well, we recognize that the players in China, play the game differently than players here, and we want to accommodate, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Like if you're already creating it, why? Like why not just let us have like, right? It just doesn't make sense. I don't get why even Master Loot isn't like just I don't know. Nothing makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess like to counter it, like I think it's weird that Blizzard is kind of prioritizing this, and I don't know if that's like I don't know if they're using it as like a market test, like hey, like let's try it out in China and see how it does. But at the same time, like to me, like this is definitely something that's good, but like is it going to be that game changing? Like if you are in like a good raid team, like people are pretty good at just being like, okay, like I know what I need and what I don't. But then obviously some people are like, I don't care. I'm going to take what I want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, but then also sometimes it's just like, hey, we have like an order to which we have to gear up in order to be as effective as possible. I get that there's different cases. I guess my question is like, what's the point? What's the point of like giving something? I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree. What's the point of giving it to someone and not everyone, right? Like why would you just give it to one market? Like what makes them different from the rest of us? Like why do you think that they want it more than everyone else does, right?
Yeah,
literally that's almost what it feels like, right?
Yeah, I vaguely remember way back in the day, I believe WoW was working with a different company in China, right? It was like 9 or something, the 9 or whatever. I don't remember what the company's name was, but it was working with like a different company. And back then there were like kind of some different rule sets between Chinese servers and American servers that almost made things feel like unfair at time. I don't believe that they've been involved for a while. At the same time, though, this now makes you kind of worry, like, okay, but could they move that direction, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, it's kind of that thing where it's like, oh, hey, cool, we really like that there's like these $1 stuffed animals on the in-game shop that we can buy for, oh, that's a $7 tree, right? Like you kind of,
right.
like you wake up.
That's a $7 tree.
Right? You wake up tomorrow and Blizzard's like, hey, heads up. Chinese servers get 2 mythic raid lockouts per character. And you're like, wait, what? Hold up. What?
Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, what?
Right. So, anyways.
What are you doing? Come on, Blizz. Come on.
You know, I'm trying to think. Because the other thing is, like, they're also getting their own separate Hall of Fame for raiding. And even that one, right? That one makes me step and go, wait, why do they need their own Hall of Fame for rating? It could be as simple as like, oh, well, they're getting their own Hall of Fame for rating because they have been struggling to keep up with our amazing raid teams. Somebody would say it's time differences, but our raid teams are awesome. We got some dang good raid teams, right? And also, they don't focus as heavily on raid because M+ is where the money is for them, right? They're in it to kind of make that carry money, right? They need that carry money more than they need to win the race, right? That's a whole different ballgame. But so it's possible that it's more encouraging for Chinese players to feel like they actually have a chance at getting onto the leaderboard, right? Like more easily. With that said, there's also a big part of me that stops and goes, okay, but is there a chance that they're separating the leaderboards, the Hall of Fame leaderboards, so when they do start doing things that give Chinese players an advantage, right? Blizzard can turn around and be like, oh, no, it's okay because what they do doesn't actually affect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's weird because it still like falls under that category of like, why would you not think everyone wants that, right?
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame one is different because it's like, yeah, like that's more of like a bragging rights kind of competition at the end of the day. But like at the same time, it's like, why would you not think everyone wants these things that you're doing? Like I don't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those like interesting. It's just one of those interesting things where. I don't know. And part of me wonders, like, is it because of the relationship that they have with whatever company they have to work with in China that there's requirements of like, oh, we actually have, like, sometimes, they've got us by the balls type of thing, right? Like, we
like,
just have to do this, right?
We want exclusives, like, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exclusives to WoW.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so that, it's mildly annoying. But again, everything could be fine, dude. We're just here to theory craft and whatnot. I just look at it, and there's a part of me that looks at it, and it's like, oh, I just mildly wonder if this could be the start, right? Like 2 years from now, things change, and we're like, oh, see? We saw it. We saw the pieces coming together. They now get no raid lockouts in Mythic, and they also get... their resilient keys actually go one level higher, right? Like, I don't know. It is what it is, but it's a curious thing. Every time I see Blizzard add an opportunity there that's not here, it feels weird. And by the way, like the master loot thing, right? You could be like, oh, some people don't like master loot. Maybe players don't care for it. I mean, the reality is guilds still can just do master loot. They just everybody has to decline on it. Then you have it go to then the guild master goes and loots it all. He has to be the one that like need it all, right? And then
right. Like it's just more added trouble,
right? It's just much more trouble. So I don't know. I don't understand why it can't just exist, right? And if you're like, no, I think master loot is the worst system in the entire world and should never ever exist again. Master loot is terrible. Well, here's the deal. Then don't be a part of a guild that uses master loot. Right?
True.
Like I'm not like our guild would not use master loot. Our raid leader does not want to have to worry about master loot. I don't want to worry about master loot. Just let people use their best judgment, need, and greed as they have to.
Dude, this guy can get the loot. Yeah.
But also, if you're super, super, super opposed to it, you wouldn't want to be in the group that would want to use it anyways, right? And if the group wants to use it anyways, they're probably finding their own workaround or some system that annoys you to begin with.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like it's definitely gonna be. Yeah. No, it's kind of weird. Yeah. But you kind of just gotta deal with it almost, right?
It seems like, I mean, and again, the feedback I've heard in the past was like, well, people use it to steal loot because they would, right, like they would turn on master loot for a pug raid, and then only the raid leader got loot, and people were really confused and all that kind of stuff. But then, like, I just feel like there's simple workarounds, right? Like, oh, hey, you join a group that has master loot turned on, you get a notification. Hey, this group has master loot turned on. That loot's going to go to the raid leader. If this was not something that was already talked about ahead of time, we suggest not being in this raid team, right? Like, I don't know, just throw a little message that pops up when that happens, right?
I wonder if you got to accept something before. I don't know. Something, there's got to be like some kind of like, you're doing it, right?
Yeah, so easy to do.
Anyways,
in terms of any other news this week, though, I think that's pretty much.
Well, there's one last thing. One last thing. One.
What you got?
The Habitat for Humanity thing comes out on March 17th, which is kind of neat. That is
the dog,
just a little bundle pack, a little doggo, some doggo things for your housing. 100% of proceeds go directly to Habitat for Humanity, which makes me believe that there's still some good in this world. And dude, I love things like this. Like you see big gaming companies are just like, hey, like we're going to give proceeds to Habitat for Humanity. 100% I will buy it. It wouldn't have mattered if it's like just like something dumb. Like I'd probably buy it, but
yeah,
I'm down for big companies supporting that. But it also leans towards the fact that how soon are they going to release these things for player housing that we saw in, the whole state of Azeroth. You see pets in your house, because this was kind of what people assumed was going to be the first, like, hey, we're going to see pets in our house with this Habitat for Humanities, because it was like, oh, state of Azeroth.
They can't have them together.
Yeah, so I don't know if that they're going to try to lump these together. I doubt it. Like, I don't think this is going to be like a pet that you can have in your house, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out on what's it called? We'll find out on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a pretty fun question that came in through our Discord this week. But before we get to that, I just want to share with everybody some cool stuff that we want you to be aware of, right? The first of which is our Discord, right? Like if you're not hanging out in the Warband Discord, then you're missing out.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? You want to be in there. It's a cool spot. It's fun to hang out. There's just so many amazing people. Whether you're in there so that you can learn more about our guild Astra that we're a part of, whether you're in there because you want to join the Warband podcast neighborhood, right? Like, in fact, please do. We got I think like 20 plots left in there. Come join the neighborhood. Hang out with us. You just want to go talk about WoW, ask questions, ask for help, look for people to do M+ with. Come join our Discord. There's a link down in the description. Come hang out. Just say hi. Dude, hang out.
Say what up.
What up? I want to thank everyone who is listening that is a subscriber to our Patreon or even has subscribed in the past. You guys are keeping this podcast alive, and Chicken are just so thankful. We're just so thankful for the support that you give. If you would like to help support the podcast, the Patreon is the best way financially to do that. But also, too, just, again, hanging out, chat with us. Your encouragement, your kind words mean a lot. They really do. They mean a ton to us. This podcast is something we do because we like talking about WoW. But also, Chick and I can talk about WoW without recording it. We don't have to record this.
Good.
We love the community that's forming. And I want to encourage you, as you guys are listening to the podcast, right? Continue to just speak encouragement towards us, and share with us the things that you enjoy with the podcast, because we want to continue improving. We want to continue making it better. It really has been a blessing for us to be a part of this, and so we'd love to hear your feedback. on the podcast as well. And one of the best ways to do so is especially if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but any platform you use that allows you to leave a rating, please leave us a rating.
Yes.
The best you can. Obviously, if you hate the podcast, then maybe don't leave a rating, please. But if you hate the podcast,
don't leave a rating.
If you hate the podcast, you've made it quite far in here for someone who hates the podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
Give you some credit. I give you some credit on that one.
Suspicious.
But y'all are absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. Now we have a question from our listener. We mentioned him earlier, but he's back again. That's Tiger Ace Ray. Also, actually, one of our new mods that we have. Tiger and Rack have both stepped up to help moderate our community, which is a huge help as we start to plan some fun stuff like events in the podcast neighborhood and potentially some other events going on. So, Tiger asked this question, and I will preface this question by just saying that I actually had a pretty cool talk with him in the Discord. So by the time I'm answering this has already been answered through just conversations him and I had naturally.
Wait, really?
Yes. Him and I might have actually talked about it in the guild neighborhood after he posted this here. So not guild neighborhood, guild podcast. Sorry again. I am a little sleep deprived today. But his question was thoughts on requiring 12 battlegrounds for one piece of hero loot. It's a ring/neck, by the way. That is kind of important. Because those aren't always the strongest pieces of loot, right? So he says, to me, it's bad design forcing PvP for gear that isn't PvP gear. So it's a really interesting question. One misconception on the question, though, is that it is PvP gear. I think he had mistakenly read the note when he ran through it. It's kind of hard to understand when you're reading on Wowhead, because even then it lists it as the same eye levels. Like in PvP, it's going to be this eye level, but then that eye level is the same because that's just how Wowhead works, I believe. And I heard a few people talking about it's because it's not just 12 battlegrounds that you have to do to get a hero piece of gear, it's a ring or a neck. It's 12 battlegrounds over the course of 4 weeks. Right?
Yeah, dude.
It's time gated. And so I'm hearing a lot of talk of people that are just like, bleh. By the time that comes out, I'm not going to need it. It won't be beneficial.
Dude, honestly.
Right? However, here is my argument for why I think this is actually a great thing. And if you're the person at Blizzard who came up with this, look, I get it. A lot of people are complaining, but I just want to say good job. And here's why I want to say good job.
Hold on to your cushion.
So the quest is a 4-week quest, right? And so starting out right off the bat, the first quest gives you the medallion PvP trinket, the one that lets you get out of traps and stuns and whatever, any type of CC effect. It breaks that CC. That trinket is super important for PvP. You need that trinket when you're PvPing, and a lot of players just don't know that, right? A lot of players who don't PvP often aren't aware of that. They don't know that exists, and so they're missing out on a really, really helpful tool. I think it's really cool that they have this quest line, this 4-week quest line, that actually kind of just slowly gets you more and more prepared for PvP. Gets you a little bit of experience, gives you an important tool that normally you'd kind of have to figure out on your own. It's helping you by saying, hey, here, this trinket's important. You'll want to use this as you continue to do battlegrounds. You did a few, great job. Continue to do more. And then it proceeds to just kind of give you a little bit each week to build you up. Now that 4th week, right? That heroic ring/neck. That's not for you, chicken. That's not for me, right? That's not the gear that you and I are chasing, right? That's just not what we're looking for, right? And what I mean by that is you and I aren't going to sit here and go, okay, we're going to do this 4-week quest chain because we need a heroic piece of gear. And sometimes as people who are trying to gear as fast as we can, we forget that. We look at something like this and we're like, what's the point of that? Why does that even exist? That's not going to help me. But that person who doesn't want to do any M+ and who isn't in Mythic Raid, or in Heroic Raid yet, that person is going to benefit massively from that, right? They're going to be excited. They're like, oh, this little 4 week, every week I just do a few battlegrounds, and in 4 weeks I'm going to have a heroic piece of gear for free. That's awesome, right? For that player, that's going to be good, awesome. Right? And then for the player who's like just slowly kind of itching their way into PvP and trying some things out, they're going to end up with not just a heroic piece of gear, but a heroic piece of gear that's going to scale well in PvP. So I think it's a good design. I just think what happens is we see things like that pop up, and the like M+ pushers, the Mythic Raiders, they see that and their mind just goes, well, by that time, I'm not going to need that. And they forget that the way that we play the game isn't always how everyone else plays the game, right? And that actually becomes just like a really simple way to get a pretty nice piece of gear.
No, that is, at the end of the day, a really easy way to get some good gear.
Yeah. And
for
again,
someone that doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's really not that hard.
No.
Who knows? Maybe they're trying to branch out to PvP and get more people involved.
Yeah, and I can picture you and I, right? Like week 1, we're already like mostly hero geared out, just pushing M+, right?
Yeah.
But that's not going to be everybody. That's far from. I would say most players are actually going to benefit off that, surprisingly.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If they even want to do it, right? Like, again, 12 battlegrounds is a lot, but it's really just like 3 battlegrounds a week for 4 weeks, and it's not just that you're getting. You're getting loot along the way.
Yeah, honestly, I'd do it if I had the time. I'd definitely do it.
So I like that question, Chicken, because it's just a nice little reminder as we close out the podcast that, like, dude, WoW is such a vast game. And it's easy to forget that not every element of the game was designed for how we play the game, but that there are so many different players out there playing the game in different ways that can get thrilled about things that we could care less about. And they could care less about things that we get thrilled about, right? Like, like when they added in for you and I, Keystone Legend was a great thing they added. It was a nice challenge. It really pushed us. Like, we were thrilled about that. Resilient Keys as a kind of a goal became really cool for us, right? There's a ton of players out there who look at that and they're like, bleh, another mount locked behind a Mythic Plus achievement that I'll never be able to do, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways, everyone, thank you so much for listening to the Warband podcast, brought to you by Guild Wars 2, the greatest MMO that has ever existed on the internet. Every time I say that, we get paid nothing because it's not a real sponsorship. It's fake.
Dude, stop.
We'll see you next week.